So you're thinking about a career where you can actually shape the future of law.
That's ambitious.
We're going to dive deep into the world of legal policy officers and see if it's the right fit for you.
What I find fascinating about this role is that it's not just about knowing the law.
Right?
It's about using that knowledge to design a better legal system.
We've got your research, and it seems like you're really looking for the inside scoop on this career path.
Yeah.
Let's start with the basics. What exactly does a legal policy officer do?
You can think of them as the architects of the legal landscape.
Okay.
They're the ones researching, analyzing, and ultimately shaping the policies that govern the legal world.
Okay, so they're not the ones arguing cases in court,
Right.
but they're the ones building the framework for how those cases are argued.
Exactly. They're the strategists working behind the scenes, ensuring the legal system is effective, relevant, and serves its purpose.
Our sources define a legal policy officer as someone who conducts research and analysis on legal issues and policies, develops and advocates for policy recommendations, and drafts legislation, regulations, and other policy documents.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a lot to unpack. What does that actually look like in their day-to-day work?
It's surprisingly dynamic.
Okay.
One day, they might be researching the impact of a new data privacy law on startups.
Mm-hmm.
The next, they could be presenting their policy recommendations to government officials.
It seems like they're constantly switching gears between research and real-world application.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where their impact lies.
Yeah.
Their work directly influences how the legal sector operates and evolves.
Okay.
For example, they might draft a policy that streamlines the court system, making it more efficient for everyone involved.
Right.
That's a tangible example of their impact.
It's like a ripple effect. Their work on a single policy can impact countless individuals and organizations within the legal system.
Precisely. Their work touches everything from improving existing regulations to promoting transparency and ensuring accountability within the legal sector.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a pretty high-stakes career, so it's clear that this role demands a deep understanding of the law.
Right.
But what about the other skills and knowledge that are essential for success?
Yeah.
It can't just be about memorizing law books.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
While a strong legal foundation is crucial, it's really just the entry point. Our research highlights that legal policy officers need a combination of analytical prowess, exceptional communication skills, and even a bit of tech savviness.
Tech savviness.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wouldn't immediately think of technology as a core requirement for a legal role. Tell me more about that.
Well, the legal field is rapidly evolving with the rise of AI, data analytics, and online platforms.
Uh-huh.
Legal policy officers need to be comfortable navigating these technologies to conduct research, analyze data, and even advocate for policies related to emerging tech like AI in legal proceedings.
That makes a lot of sense. The sources we shared with you actually highlighted the top 5 skills legal policy officers need.
Right.
And some of them, like reading comprehension and critical thinking, seem pretty obvious for dealing with complex legal documents. But the one that really stood out to me was active listening. Why is that so important in this role?
Well, legal policy officers often act as a bridge between different stakeholders, government agencies, advocacy groups, industry leaders, each with their own perspectives and priorities. Active listening allows them to understand these diverse viewpoints, build consensus, and develop policies that address the needs of all parties involved.
So it's not just about pushing your own agenda.
Right.
It's about being receptive to different perspectives and finding common ground.
Exactly. It's about being a skilled negotiator and communicator, capable of explaining complex legal concepts in a clear and concise way to a variety of audiences.
It sounds like this role requires a delicate balance of being deeply knowledgeable in a specific field while also being adaptable and open to new information. Our research mentioned the importance of staying updated in this ever-changing landscape. What are some ways aspiring legal policy officers can keep their knowledge sharp?
Well, continuous learning is key. Subscribing to relevant journals, attending conferences, and engaging in online forums are all great ways to stay informed about the latest legal developments and policy debates.
It sounds like a pretty demanding field to stay on top of. So let's say someone is really interested in becoming a legal policy officer. What are some concrete steps they can take to break into this field?
Well, strong academic background is definitely the starting point.
Yeah.
A bachelor's degree is usually the minimum, often in law, political science, or public policy.
Yeah.
But to really stand out, a master's degree or even a law degree can be incredibly valuable.
Okay, so education is key. But what about getting your foot in the door? It's all about experience, right?
Absolutely. Internships are like gold in this field. Look for opportunities at law firms, government agencies, or even nonprofit organizations working on policy advocacy. Even volunteering on projects related to legal research or policy analysis can give you a significant edge.
So it's not just about what you know, it's about being able to demonstrate that you can apply that knowledge in real-world settings.
Exactly.
Our research indicated that the competition for advancement in this field is pretty intense. In fact, one study found that for every senior legal policy officer position available, there are on average 150 applicants vying for the role.
Wow,
Yeah, 150 applicants for one senior role.
that's a lot.
So once you've landed that legal policy officer role, what are some typical career paths? Is it a straight climb up the ladder, or are there different directions you can go?
It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all trajectory. Some legal policy officers might move into senior roles within their organization, leading teams and overseeing larger projects.
Mhm.
Others might choose to specialize in a particular area of law, like environmental policy or intellectual property, becoming go-to experts in their niche.
So you could end up shaping environmental regulations for a major corporation or consulting on intellectual property rights for tech startups.
Exactly.
That's really cool. But I imagine standing out in such a competitive field requires more than just checking the boxes on your resume. What are some ways aspiring legal policy officers can differentiate themselves?
Building a strong professional online presence is crucial.
Okay.
Think LinkedIn, professional websites, even contributing articles to industry publications. It's about showcasing your expertise, your passion for legal policy, and your unique perspective.
It's like building your brand as a thought leader in the field.
Right.
Speaking of which, you mentioned earlier that tech savviness is becoming increasingly important for legal policy officers. How can someone demonstrate that they're on top of the latest technological advancements in the legal sphere?
There are a few ways.
Hmm.
First, familiarize yourself with the tools and technologies used in legal research and analysis. Things like AI-powered legal research databases and data analytics software are becoming increasingly common. You can even highlight your proficiency in these tools on your resume or LinkedIn profile.
That's a great tip. And speaking of LinkedIn, I know you're a big advocate for using technology to optimize your job search. You mentioned RoleCatcher earlier. How can that platform help aspiring legal policy officers stand out from the crowd?
RoleCatcher offers some really innovative features.
Like what?
They have an AI-powered resume builder that analyzes job descriptions and tailors your resume to highlight the most relevant skills and experience. They also have a tool that identifies the key skills employers are looking for in specific roles, which can help you tailor your application materials and even identify areas where you might want to develop your skill set further.
That's amazing. It's like having a personal career coach in your back pocket. But even with all the technology in the world, I imagine acing the interview is still a crucial part of landing that dream legal policy officer role. Any advice on how to prepare for those high-stakes conversations?
Practice makes perfect. Review common interview questions and craft compelling responses that highlight your skills, experience, and passion for legal policy. RoleCatcher actually has a feature that provides AI-powered feedback on your interview responses, which can be incredibly helpful in identifying areas for improvement.
So it's like having a mock interview with an AI coach.
Exactly.
That's pretty impressive. We've covered a lot of ground today, from understanding the day-to-day realities of a legal policy officer to uncovering the skills and strategies needed to thrive in this evolving field. Before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with something to ponder. As technology continues to reshape the legal landscape at an unprecedented pace, what are some of the emerging legal challenges and opportunities that you think will shape the future of legal policy officers?
That's a great question. One area that I think will be particularly significant is the increasing use of AI in legal decision-making. Legal policy officers will play a crucial role in shaping the regulations and ethical frameworks surrounding these technologies, ensuring they're used fairly and responsibly.
It's almost like a whole new legal frontier is opening up. Any other areas you're keeping your eye on?
Data privacy is another huge one. As we collect and analyze more data than ever before, legal policy officers will be tasked with striking a balance between innovation and protecting individual rights. It's a complex and constantly evolving challenge, but it's one that I think will present incredible opportunities for those passionate about shaping the future of law.
It sounds like the future of law is inextricably intertwined with technology, and legal policy officers will be at the forefront of navigating this exciting and challenging new landscape. It's been fascinating exploring this career path with you. If this deep dive has sparked your interest in becoming a legal policy officer, we encourage you to check out the show notes for links to all the resources we discussed today,
Oh.
including those fantastic tools from RoleCatcher.
It's a career path with the potential to make a real difference, and I encourage anyone with a passion for law and a desire to shape a more just and equitable society to explore it further.
Well said. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking the big questions. We'll see you in the next episode.